So I'm going to go through a couple of use cases for training, and then that'll set up some of the things I've seen out there that have worked effectively amongst organizations that I've served. So start off with compliance, maybe not the number one reason, that's probably the next slide over, but certainly a reason why training is important is, a lot of you, I've heard our healthcare background, HIPAA's a thing, high trust may be a thing. If you're running credit cards, that's probably a thing. We're all probably familiar with NIST, but pretty much every standard, framework, regulation, et cetera, requires some form or fashion of security awareness training. So I'll read a couple of these real quick. From a high trust perspective, employees and contractors receive documented initial, annual, and ongoing training on the roles related to security and privacy. HIPAA security rule would say implement a security awareness and training program for all members of its workforce. It's embedded in everything that we do. And obviously there's a reason for that because it's really important, which leads us to probably the biggest use case for training, and that's breach prevention. Think of that also as a way to reduce fines, penalties, reputational harm, damage, et cetera, from breaches. So the stat there at the top, 88% of all breaches are caused by human error, which leads us right into why training is so important when it's done effectively to prevent that from happening. And it's also, just part of the fundamental information security program. We've got, hopefully your organization have really strong policies and procedures. That's kind of the foundation of your program. But then educating your workforce on what those policies and procedures are, where they are, why they're important, then all of the specifics in those policies and procedures to help round out your organization's overall awareness of cybersecurity related situations. The last thing I'll talk about here, again, just three slides here tied to the why, is customer confidence. And when I was putting this slide together, I was thinking about the Target breach that happened, a few years back, and the results in terms of customer confidence in Target as a payment processor or a consumer of credit card data. Stat here shows that 70% of consumers think businesses are lacking on cybersecurity, and nearly 2 out of 3 customers would stay away from an organization that has had a cyber attack in the past year. So customers are very sensitive to compromised endpoint security, data breaches, social engineering, phishing attacks. Ultimately, they want to know that their data is safe. And again, I know this is kind of a healthcare-centric crowd tonight, so that especially applies to protected health information. So any patient information, health information, we all want to make sure that is safe and secure, which kind of ties back to the HIPAA security rule and the requirement around protecting and safeguarding data through various training mechanisms.